Welcome to Sports Jam!
Everybody get up, it's time for sports now. We got a real show going down. Welcome to the Sports Jam. It's your chance, talk and rant. It's the Sports Jam. All right. Cut. Hey man, you can't get in there net.
Hey, Region, welcome to the Sports Jam here on AM 1230 WJOB. I am Mike Zajac. Joe Rourke is back. Joe, the big,
I'm still Sam Sapito. Less
Big-
important Sam Sapito that is now.
the big
You've
three
been
is
bumped
back.
back to your producing room, Sam.
Yeah.
The date today is August 2nd.
It is. I erased it, so you.
Yeah, I was looking up there. The date is Jet in the Region, apparently, because
Yeah.
that's all that's written up there. No, the date is the 2nd, and it's a pretty nice day out. Good day to mow, which is what I'm going to have to do. Go mow those lawns, make that money.
So where were you the past couple days?
I was at Ball State University, and I was moving out of my old apartment on Tuesday, moving into my new apartment on Wednesday.
Your mansion, your $10,000 a month.
It's
mansion.
actually smaller than I remembered.
Really?
Yeah, I hadn't been in that exact unit, but I did a story on somebody who lived in one of those apartments, like that complex, and I remember when I went to his place last year, I was like, wow, this is really nice. Like, for one person, this is so big. And then I went in ours yesterday, and I was like, this is not the same thing. But it's not too bad. I mean, for one person, it's completely fine.
So you're by yourself?
Yeah, it's just me.
Okay.
Just my lonesome. I got 2 levels. I got the downstairs level is like a living room. It's, I don't know, maybe 12 by 20 feet or something like that.
So-
Maybe a little bigger than that.
Let me get this straight. You're rooming with 2 ladies right now, and then
No, I was.
you were.
I was living with 2 girls for the past 2 years. at
So
school.
now you decide you've had enough of them, and now you're going on your own.
No, they graduated.
Okay.
We all love each other. There was
Mike's just full of lies.
there was no falling out between the girls and I. We're all still good friends. But no, they just graduated in May. I
Okay.
got 1 semester left. So I mean, yeah, they could have decided to stay an extra 6 months for no reason, but
Yeah.
they were not about that life.
I was gonna say, why would you leave a house full of women to go live on your own?
2 beautiful women, I may add.
Yeah.
We had a good time. But so yeah, living by myself now, way off campus. Not happy about that, but
Gotta do what you gotta do.
moved in. I was kind of excited that I got
It's a
like
semester.
finally a whole place to myself and like do whatever I want. Don't have to wear pants, probably.
Probably, yeah. Just do as you please, right?
Yep, exactly.
Let's get to sports
just talk
now.
some sports,
Let's
I
talk
guess.
some
I'm
sports.
just-
Talk something
Sports Jam.
decent.
What do you mean? All right, so the Sox lost 6-1 to the Indians yesterday. Chris Sale pitched 5 innings, allowed 10 hits, 5 earned runs, no walks, and 6 strikeouts. It's the first time he's allowed more than 3 runs since June 19th versus the pesky Minnesota Twins. Jordan Danks went 2 for 4. Jeff Keppinger, Gordon Beckham, and Alejandro Diaz each with 1 hit. Diaz hitting his 13th home run. Rick Hahn said yesterday that Robin Ventura's job is safe, which I don't know. I don't really have an opinion on because the team's not going to be good for a couple of years, I don't think. So whether he's around in a couple of years or someone else, it's not a big deal to me.
He could be like Dale Swim with the Cubs. Swim's going to be there for a while, I believe.
You think so?
Yeah. They're rebuilding right now. He just needs some players that can learn to his,
I mean, I guess maybe Hahn's with me here and just don't see the point of getting a new manager who's also going to struggle for a year or 2.
All right.
I mean, you're not going to bring in a new manager and all of a sudden this team is going to be great next year. This team's not built to be great next year at all. So I don't really think it's kind of just like a lame duck situation for Ventura. He might as well just stay and just sit through it because, I mean, there's no point wasting a new hiree on a lost season.
Yeah, and Ventura, he needs the coaching experience anyway, right? Stick around for a while.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't get to watch too many games anymore because 1, it's hard to watch, and 2, I just have been busy this summer. But it doesn't seem like he's doing a bad job. It just the talent's not there, I don't think.
Right.
looks like we got a caller on the line maybe. We'll get to that in just a second. But I wanted to talk really quick on the Jake Peavy deal. Obviously, I was gone at school while that all happened, and you guys talked about it. One thing I wanted to point out was the pronunciation of Garcia's name that the Sox got. Sam, you made an effort. You did not get it right, but the pronunciation is Avasail Garcia.
Avasail.
Sounds a lot more exotic than what I said.
What did you
said
say?
Avizio.
Avizio?
Avizio.
I thought it was Avasil or something.
It
you said. I don't know,
sounded
either
right
way.
when he said it.
Yeah, and then your comment was, "Oh, good job on the pronunciation," and because I watched it on YouTube because I wasn't able to listen when you guys were on. I was like, "That's not right." Not that it's an easy name to pronounce, but I just wanted to make that clarification. Avasail. The other players that they got, the 3 minor leaguers, they're all raw players, and they're all just an A-ball, so they've got a few years before they ever could amount to anything. But they all seem to possess 1+ tool, so that's good. One of the I see that David's on the line. I'll get to it in a second, Sam. One of the things, the relievers they got, he apparently touches 100. One of the second baseman, Rondon, that they got is apparently really great with the glove. And the other guy, I can't remember what his skill is, if it's speed or whatever, but they all seem to have at least one thing that they can build on. So, I mean, they're kind of throwing players, but I was just mainly happy to get Avasail and to dump all $20 million of Peavy's contract. Not that it was a bad contract, but something the Sox don't need to pay for. They don't need to give him $20 million to be a fourth-place team or a last-place team even. So it was nice to be able to not have to throw in any of that money on his deal. Let's take David. David, you're on the line.
Hey, guys.
Hi.
I watched that movie, Brad Pitt movie, Moneyball, again. And I have to – sure, it's a true story, and they embellish it because it's a movie and it's all Hollywood.
Right.
But just from the overall realistic point of view, from a Cubs and Sox standpoint and they're both in the rebuilding stage, I understand.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole concept of that movie was to get base runners.
Right, on base percentage, yeah.
Pitching was kind of an afterthought. It was getting people on base percentage. And why hasn't anyone else adopted that type of, or was that A's team just a fluke?
I think other teams do use it, and not only I think do other teams use it now, but other teams used it then too. I think Billy Beane was just the most vocal about it, and obviously the book was written on him. But it's not like he was the only one who was pushing that. He was just apparently the one who got the most attention for it, I guess, because their payroll was so low and they had to find some creative way. But I thought the movie was pretty good. There were definitely, like you said, some things that were wrong. They never mentioned how great their pitching staff was. No. They had Mulder, Zito, Hudson.
I mean, that was kind of an afterthought. It was more, let's get people on base, and this guy, he walks more than anything, and, I just thought that concept, it could possibly, he would squeak your wheel and everyone heard him
right.
And it comes down to, it comes down to math, it comes down to numbers, and it just doesn't seem like the Sox are looking at it that way.
Rick Hahn is definitely more of a numbers guy, and Doug Lauman, their scouting director, than Kenny Williams was, who seemed to be just a guy, I don't know, who just loved athletic and toolsy and multi-sport players, it seemed like, because that's all the Sox ever got. I know Epstein and Hoyer are pretty big into sabermetrics. Charrington, who took over for Epstein in Boston, I know he's a big proponent of it because they have Bill James, who pretty much wrote the book on sabermetrics in Boston now. So I think a lot of teams are starting, especially guys with younger GMs like Rick Hahn and Epstein and Hoyer and Charrington. I think they're all starting to adopt it way more than some of the older guys who have been GMing for a while and rely more on what their scouts see rather than what their computers tell them,
Sure. I appreciate your input on that. And your last question for you guys, and I'm going to get off the air, but if they do start axing, 10 of the top players in the league, you think it's going to have any effect at all? And that's my question to you guys. You
mean with the biogenesis thing?
Yes.
Any effect on the league as far as popularity?
Overall revenue. It's all about revenue sharing, and it's just overall, filling the seats and getting the TV time and getting the endorsements and, having the commercials paid. Do you think at all, because there's just so much money invested in baseball, and each one of those players are a multi-million-dollar corporation walking around. That's the way I look at it. And you think just start axing these guys and these stiff penalties, I really don't think it's going to put a dent in baseball.
Financially, I don't think so. I don't think they're going to be losing sponsors. I don't think Comcast and Honda or whoever else is going to pull sponsorship because there's players who cheat. So I think in the end, it's not going to affect the revenue portion of it. It could affect the people who are purists and no longer want to go to a game if they think all the players are roided up. But the percentage of that is going to be negligible, I think.
Yeah, I think the popularity is going to go down.
Percentage of purists versus just the people filling the corporate seats because they got free tickets.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I don't think it's going to make much of a difference, at least financially speaking.
Great. Thanks, guys.
All right, thanks a lot. So let's talk a little Cubs real quick before we take a break. They tried to solo home run the death out of the Dodgers yesterday, but came up short 6-4.
Yeah, Junior Lake 2 for 4, 2 home runs, the Lake effect. Big game for him. Anthony Rizzo starting to hit some home runs. He goes 2 for 3, 2 home runs. He's got 17 on the year now. They each had 2 hits. Darwin Barney was the only Cub to get a hit. They had 5 hits in this game. 4
solo jacks. See, there you go. Moneyball on base. If they had guys on base in front of them, those would be 2 3-run home runs.
Exactly. Guys aren't getting on base when they hit home runs for some reason. Chris Russin gets the loss. He's 1-1. He goes 5 innings, 7 hits, 4 runs, 4 strikeouts. Yasiel was getting twiggy with it. He goes 2 for 4 with a home run to left center field. And today at 3:05, Cubs take on the Dodgers again. It is Rue against Travis Wood on the mound. Should be a low-scoring game. Rue with a 3.14 ERA, Wood with a 2.79 ERA.
And for the Sox, it will be, where are my notes? Pfister versus Santiago at 6:08 tonight against Detroit. Also for the Cubs, Carlos Marmol, not for the Cubs, but in the Cubs game.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to scare anyone.
No,
here.
no,
Not
no,
for
no.
the Cubs, but possibly against the Cubs tonight if Marmol takes the mound.
I would
Assuming everyone's going to boo him, right?
I will, absolutely. I would love to see him come in and just
Or
blow a lead.
Or cheer because he's not on the Cubs.
Yeah, maybe they'll cheer because they want him to walk everyone in sight like he did when he was with the Cubbies. So we'll see. A little bit of Bears news. They signed undrafted free agent linebacker Andrew Stark out of Princeton. The Plainfield, Illinois native will provide depth for the Bears, while DJ Williams is week to week with a right calf muscle injury.
We talked about this the other day. Jonathan Bostic is taking over at the middle linebacker position, correct. Out of Florida.
But you could also
Rookie,
see some
right?
Briggs.
Yeah, you were saying, he's a rookie. You were saying about Briggs being a middle linebacker in their practice.
I was saying one of my friends went to the practice in Bourbonnais and said that he saw Briggs play some middle linebacker. And I replied by saying I could see that because the middle linebacker is the captain of the defense, basically.
Right, but I don't know. I don't see Briggs playing middle linebacker.
Well, with all these injuries, I think that they might try to mix it up. You don't know. New schemes.
I mean, Jonathan Bostic, I was reading something that he could be the next big-time linebacker that we have. So,
sure hope so. I mean, it's big shoes to fill with Brian Urlacher leaving.
Yep, absolutely.
So what happens if Bostic possibly gets injured?
Gosh, don't
Briggs
say
gets
that.
injured?
Don't say that.
Calling Brian back up.
There's some wood there. Could you please knock on it?
Calling Urlacher back up to see if he wants to strap it up for a few games.
I don't know. They'll have to do something.
I don't think so. He's going to be on. He's not going to have time. He's going to be on Fox Sports 1.
Yeah, exactly.
How's he going to play in a game when he's talking about it?
Oh, by the way,
giving that analysis.
By the way, Joe,
yep.
When you were gone, Mike cursed another pitcher.
Who?
Justin Masterson. He said he was perfect through 2 innings, and he said that he's going to throw a perfect game, and then he gave it up right after he said it.
He heard you.
It was the second inning.
Hey, Justin Masterson probably listens to the Sports Jam in the dugout.
Avid listener.
He could be. You never know.
Shout out to Justin Masterson. Thanks for being a fan. We should call in next week. Our last week, too. All right, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the Sports Jam here on AM 1230 WJOB. Sam was singing along to this song.
Classic Boston.
It is.
Can't not sing to this song.
Attention, the Northwest Indiana Symphony concert tonight, August 2nd, has been relocated from Wolf Lake Pavilion to the Calumet College Gym at 2400 New York Avenue. Doors open at 6 p.m. Show starts at 7:30. Moving on to some local news. Whiting Oilers have a new head basketball coach, Tim Hops, a 2008 graduate of Rockford Lutheran. He's a young kid.
Younger than you, right?
No, he's about my age.
Okay.
Okay, so he's a little older.
Graduated a year before I did.
Yeah. He replaces Derek Milenkoff, who went 35 and 92 in 6 years. He's a graduate of Valparaiso. He was the team manager for both Homer Drew and Bryce Drew, and he coached the freshman girls Valpo as an assistant.
Wow, he's young. He could be there for a long time.
He could be, and you're getting coached by Homer and Bryce Drew. Homer's a legend over there at Valparaiso, so he's got some good stuff going on. Yeah. And what is next? We got the Railcats. Didn't play last night. They play tonight at 7:10 against St. Paul Saints. Post-game fireworks. Those are always fun.
Let them fireworks.
A PJ party. You wear your pajamas.
What?
If you do. Oh, yeah. That's not the best part of the night, though.
PJ
There is a
party.
pillow fight tonight. A PJ party. Wear your pajamas. If you do,
You sleep in your birthday suit, don't you, Mike?
I do.
That's what I heard.
You'll
It's a
get
rumor.
$2 off at the box office. And before the game, Midget Wrestling makes its first appearance at the Steelyard. Get there early to watch Midget Wrestling prior to the game. Lil Kato and Beautiful Bobby will enter the circle at 6:45.
Wait, when is this?
This is tonight.
Is this a real thing?
This is real. This is Midget Wrestling at the Steelyard. Yeah. If you want to go out there and check it out.
What a coincidence, because my buddy, he lives in, I'm going to say this wrong, Ixtaka, something like that in Illinois.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it was. And he's having a bunch of people out there tomorrow because one of the minor league teams there is also having midget wrestling.
Really?
Tomorrow. Yeah.
That must be
Is
a
this like
new.
sweeping the nation?
I don't know. This must be the new thing. Midget wrestling.
Who doesn't love that?
Is it like sweeping the nation, like making fun of Mike Zajac?
Is that
I don't-
sweeping the nation? See,
I think it is.
Turn his mic off.
I'm about to.
Um,
I know. I talked to my buddy. He's going tonight. Rusty is going. The
Maybe
real
he can
Rusty
double
is
dip
going.
and he can go to that one, and then tomorrow we can shoot out to Isaka or whatever,
Yeah.
Ixtaka, and watch the. Someone's gonna call in and correct me probably,
Probably.
but and watch the midget wrestling out there tomorrow. Is that politically correct? Midget wrestling, little.
This is
Little
midget
people
wrestling.
wrestling?
This is what I read on the website. Midget wrestling tonight,
It's blatantly saying midget wrestling.
6:45.
Okay, all right. If that's all right, I guess we'll roll with that.
Sammy Sloan of Lansing missed the cut for the final round of the Illinois Women's Open by one stroke on Thursday. Her second straight 77 earned the Illinois graduate a total of 10 over par, 154, just above the cut line for today's final round. Sloan was the best finisher among the area players, followed by Illinois junior Michelle Mayer, who shot an 86, Washington St. Louis freshman Bree Vasey, who shot a 92, and Loyola graduate Rachel Mayer shot 90. TF South's Maggie Sloan, the sister of Sammy, opened with a double bogey, tripled the third hole, and then she withdrew from the tournament. So, what do you got for us for the Oilmen?
I got some Oilman news coming up in just a second, as well as Jimmy McNamara is going to be on the line with us in about 6 or 7 minutes to give us an update on his team. The story is Carroll High School standout commits to Peregrine softball. Purdue University Calumet coach Heather Tarter added a 16th member of her inaugural recruiting class with the commitment of Carroll High School's Maisie Wickersham. Wickersham joins the 2013 draft class that includes infielders Carly McCullough from Crown Point, Samantha Openheis from Munster, pitcher Shelby Jones from Marion, and outfielders Bailey Cosbell from Crest Hill, Illinois, Haley Loden from Lake Central, and Haley Nowakowski from Moni, Illinois. Maisie will add depth to our outfield and middle infield, said Tarter. She will bring a strong work ethic and push others around her. The 5'3" outfielder played a large role in taking the Cougars back-to-back semi-state finals. Wickersham received Hoosier Heartland Conference honorable mention and Hoosier Heartland All-Conference accolades twice. Maisie also played on the 18U Indiana Chaos travel team. She is the daughter of Sean and Wendy. And Purdue Calumet will open its inaugural season in 2013 and 14, competing in the National Association of Intercollegiate Athletics, the NAIA.
Very nice.
Let's do before I get into the Oilmen, because I want to segue from the Oilmen to a break to Jimmy Mack coming up. So let's do my onion story of the day. Again, this is fake news. This is a fake news story. So nobody.
Let's say that again.
This is fake because the last time I read it, I forget who it was. I think it was Larry, LTK. I think was listening and didn't hear the part where I mentioned like that it was from the Onion.
Right.
And I think he thought it was real, and he came in, or maybe it was Harlow.
It was Harlow came in, yeah.
And was asking me about it, and I was like, no, Harlow, that was a fake story. So I want to make sure everyone knows. The Onion, fake news. This headline is, RG3 assures doctors he can barely even feel his knee. Putting the fears of coaches, fans, and the organization to rest, Washington Redskins quarterback Robert Griffin III reportedly assured team doctors Thursday that he can barely even feel his reconstructed right knee. Really, guys, my knee is totally fine. Honestly, it's been completely numb for weeks. The reigning offensive rookie of the year told Redskins medical staff inquiring into the status of his surgically repaired ACL and LCL ligaments, emphasizing that he can't feel a thing from his hip and down. As far as I can tell, it's almost like there's nothing there at all. Maybe a tiny shooting phantom pain every so often, but really I'm feeling great. Can't wait for the season to start. According to clubhouse personnel, in order to further assuage team doctors' concerns, Griffin then demonstrated the improved flexibility of his knee by bending the joint backwards and touching his toes to his chest. That goes along with the story I read, the Onion story last week about how he plans to tear his ACL and MCL completely by week 1, assuring that he will have his season cut short once again. Now it's time to talk a little Oilmen news. Finally got their game notes because the game was played on Wednesday. The Oilmen pounded out a franchise record 23 hits and scored 7 runs in the 5th to sweep.
Right?
Yeah, I just had an itch in my nose. Sweep the Lexington Snipes in their first round playoff series, 2-0 with a 17-9 win in Wednesday's game 2. Several Oilmen had fantastic days at the plate, including Jack Krzyzewski, who tied teammate Nick Bartolone's franchise record with 5 hits in the game. Tyler Barr also ripped off 3 doubles in 3 consecutive at-bats, finishing 4 for 5, team-high 3 RBIs. The Oilmen outscored the Snipes 29-12 in the 2 games. The 23 hits in Game 2 broke a single-game franchise record of 22, accomplished twice last year. The Oilmen will face off against the Southland Vikings in the first game of the MCL Championship Series tonight. Both teams swept their series to get into this championship series. The Oilmen are looking to pick up where they left off last year when they won it all. The game will be played tonight at 7:10 in Whiting. It'll be on the radio. Guess who's going to have that on the radio?
Us.
AM 1230 WJOB will have the audio action for you, and you can watch it on the internet at NWIOilmen.com through their Ustream service. We are going to take a break right now. When we come back from the break, we will bring on the Oilmen ace, Jimmy McNamara, the lefty, and he will come on and talk to us about what's going on with the team, and we'll talk some exciting stuff all coming up on the Sports Jam on WJB AM 1230. Oh.
I heard about green power from...
Welcome back to the Sports Jam.
You gonna pause the log up there, by the way?
Yeah, I got it.
We're doing some Billy Madison quotes, or Billy Madison quotes during break. Do a little Chris Farley impersonation. Mike's trying to hold it together over there. Let's bring in Jimmy McNamara on the line. Why don't you click him on? There you go. Jimmy, how you doing?
Good. How are you guys?
We're doing pretty well. Just talked about the Oilmen a little bit, and obviously you are their ace pitcher on the team. And you last pitched on Tuesday, right?
Yep.
And according to your brother, you're gonna look to be pitching on Sunday, if possible.
Yeah, that's what Coach told us the other day. Sent out the rest of the season rotation. He's got me throwing Sunday if it goes 3 games.
And so what do you do to prepare for a game like this, or I guess any game? Do you have a certain routine that you go through before a big game, or certain things you eat or avoid doing, or take a nap in between, or whatever?
Yeah, I just try to, I wake up in the morning, just try to stay relaxed, not do anything too that's going to, like, tire me out for the rest of the day. I don't want to, like, lay around. Usually you just kind of relax and watch some TV pretty much all day and then get something to eat and then head up to the field and just try to stay relaxed. I'm not one of the guys that tries to get too pumped up, like listen to pump up music and stuff like that. I try to stay as calm as possible and just go out there relax.
Any specific types of foods you try to avoid or try to make sure you eat before a game or day of?
No, not really. My mom usually makes me pizza rolls.
Tostinos?
Yeah.
So you're like in the commercial, huh?
Nice.
That's pretty good. Now, your brother was telling me yesterday that you pitched at Comerica Park at some point?
Yeah, this past summer, or not this past summer, this past year at Central Michigan.
How was that, pitching in a big league park in Detroit like that?
Well, it was amazing. It was definitely the nicest field I've ever pitched on. And unfortunately, it got rained out in the fifth. But, yeah, I got to start that game against Michigan State.
Did you get to utilize the things that they have underneath the field for players to work out and train and stuff?
Yeah, they had guys that were hitting. They had like 2 cages right next to our clubhouse. We had guys hitting.
The facilities in Detroit, are they pretty well maintained? I mean, I'm sure they're the best that you've probably played in, right?
Yeah. It was just pretty shocking. I mean, like, we had the visitors clubhouse because they didn't let us in the Tigers clubhouse. So we had the visitors clubhouse, and we just had there's like TVs and all this stuff, and this is just really nice.
Was it a day game or a night game?
Night game.
So you got to play under the lights and everything. So it looked like you're like a real major leaguer walking out there under the big lights and the stage.
Yeah.
That is awesome. Did you start to feel like, oh my God, this could be me in 10 years, or obviously, hopefully less, but?
Yeah, I guess it'd be really nice for that to work out. But yeah, it was just it was a great experience to pitch on that mound.
Now you guys are taking on Southland in the championship, the Southland Vikings. Last time you pitched against Southland, you allowed 3 runs, which for you is kind of an outlier game in the season, and you took a no decision and the team lost. Do you plan on doing anything different this time around, changing up your approach, or was it just sticking with the same thing, you think?
Yeah, it was the third time I started against them in like a few weeks span. So I think they were just a little bit prepared. They were more prepared, and I had a tough time keeping them off balance. And they hit a big hit with 2 outs that tied it up in the 6th. So, but I just coming in, if I have to pitch that game, if I have to pitch game 3, I'm just going to try to go back how I was the first two times I pitched against them, where I had success and throw more off speed and keep them off balance.
Do you guys have any sort of like game tape that you can look at, or anything to review your last start against them to see what they were doing?
No.
Does anyone in charge of tracking like each pitch or where what pitch they hit or anything like that off of you?
No, I don't think we have anybody like that.
So it's just kind of up to you to remember which pitches were getting hit around by which guys. Kind of just log it all.
I usually have a pretty good memory on how hitters react to certain pitches, and whether it's outside corner, inside corner, stuff like that. I usually have a pretty good. And now that I face these guys, if I face them, it'll be going on double digits times I faced them this year. So I think I'll have a pretty good feel for how what each batter likes.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we're rooting for you guys, but if it goes to a game 3, I'm totally going to be there on Sunday at 7 o'clock. See you pitch. I got to. I tried getting out to see you earlier in the year, and I couldn't make it for whatever reasons. But, I mean, obviously a sweep would be nice, but if you could pitch that game 3, that would be a perfect scenario, I think.
Yeah. Either way, I'm pretty confident. We're going into the series hitting the crap out of the ball.
Right.
That's always nice. And we were able to sweep these guys, so now we have a pretty good setup with pitching too.
Let's say this series does go 3 games. Where do you rank this series all time on your list?
It'd be up there. I mean, the state championship game is number one.
Right.
And, probably always will be. And, but, to game 3, I guess I'll probably let you know after the game whether it's up there or not. But, if we win that game 3 and we win the whole thing,
Right.
it'd be up there, definitely like top 5.
So when do you go back to school?
The August 22nd.
Is that when classes start?
No, I think classes start the Monday after.
Oh, okay.
August 22nd to Thursday.
Do you have a different attitude going into this season with the club now that you're a sophomore and not a freshman?
Yeah, gonna go in there a little bit more experienced, try to help some of the guys out that are new, stuff like that. Now that I have a good feel and I've been through fall ball and all that stuff, kind of know what to expect. And I don't think anything's gonna take me by surprise like last year. Just kind of a new experience last year, so now just a little bit more ready.
Was there anyone on the team last year that kind of took you under their wing and helped you get acclimated with the team and everything else?
Yeah, there was a few guys that were sophomores last year that helped out. Told us what to expect and how practices were ran and kind of stuff like that. That really helped.
So you still got them. They're still with the team, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so that's
we'll have
good.
them.
So then you're going to kind of try and assume that role with any incoming freshmen, kind of help them along as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a nice thing for you to do, Jimmy. Real nice guy. So before we let you go, let's talk a little bit about softball last night.
Oh, I don't want to. No.
We got to bring this up because Mike didn't ask me about it yet in the beginning of the show. It was a really heartbreaking loss last night.
It was so heartbreaking.
Now, was this just a playoff game or just?
This was round 3 of the playoffs.
Okay.
And you know what? I found out that it was double. I didn't even know it was double elimination, so I found out this morning. Brian told me. So I was pretty relieved. I was much more happier.
Oh,
The season wasn't over yet.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I think everyone in the stands heard me slam my water bottle to the ground when we lost, but I knew that it was only the first loss of 2. If that was us out of the tournament, I think it would have been worse.
Yeah, I felt empty. There was nothing.
Joe was telling me there was a play at third base where you didn't send him.
Controversial, yeah.
Controversy?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
controversy.
controversial coach's decision.
Yeah,
by me.
what
Hold
happened?
Joe up.
Yeah, walk us through that play.
All right, so we had guys on first and second with 2 outs.
I was the guy on second.
Joe was the guy on second. Joe is not the fleetest foot.
Not at all.
He
So-
says, he is the Paul Konerko of slow
Right,
pitch softball,
exactly.
Yeah. So base hit up the middle. Ball kind of dies in the grass, and I'm slowing Joe up. And then the center fielder bobbles it. And it was going to be a little tough to get Joe started again. And I didn't want to make the third out at the plate with one of our best hitters coming up too.
Right.
So I held him. And, Brian, my brother was the one that hit the ball, and I think he was a little bit greedy and he wanted the RBI.
Probably.
So he was mad. People were screaming.
Okay.
And then, Rob didn't bail me out. Rob grounded out.
Yeah, the next hitter grounded out. I mean, it was a hard ground out to short. The guy made a nice play,
Yeah.
but yeah, ended up costing us a run that we may not have even. I mean,
Yeah, they had a hit parade in the last inning, so that was kind of.
yeah, maybe that run wouldn't have been as important anyway. But
And then we had a play at the plate where we almost threw that guy out, and then popped out a work.
Wortman, our catcher, dropped apparently, I thought it was a one-hop throw, but apparently it was just
No, it was just right on the. Yeah,
Just
it was
right to
straight
him.
throw.
he dropped it at home and the runner scored.
Now, were
That was
you
a tying
upset
run.
that you weren't sent home?
Not really, because I mean, I'm obviously trying to just pick up the third base coach,
Right.
which is Jimmy, and I wasn't watching where the ball was. I mean, I did look back for a second, and I saw it looked like it was kind of in the gap a little bit, so I figured I would be sent. And as I'm taking the round around third, I see his hands up, and I remember screaming to you, Jimmy. I was like, "You want me to stop? Like, really?" Because I thought for sure that I would be scoring. And you're like, "Yeah." So I stopped, got back. Everyone on the bench is yelling at me, "Go, go, go!" And I'm like, "I got the stop sign, guys. What do you want me to do?
Yeah.
I'm not going to run through." I mean, he should know better than I should.
Yeah,
And-
I just and once I started slowing you down, I kind of messed up.
I
And
mean,
the guy bobbled it. I probably could have sent you, but I definitely messed up.
some of the guys said I would have been safe easily. I think I would have been safe, but I think it would have been a play.
Yeah, I think it would have been a play. And Freddie came up and told me that, that would have been really close. And he told, my thing was with Rob coming up, I didn't want.
Right.
Because if you get tossed and we're, same score, and they make the third out at the plate, then they got big momentum going in to the last inning.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't think it was a bad decision, but I think it could have gone either way.
Yeah.
But like you were saying, they were hitting so well anyway.
That was just, I thought, and then after we got the first out in the last inning, I thought we got this anyway, and then they didn't make another out.
I don't know if it's been mentioned yet, but we were up 11-1 in that game.
Yeah.
In the fourth inning.
And you lost?
Yeah. We gave up. I think we gave up 6 runs in the 6th, maybe, and then 6 runs in the bottom of the 7th to lose.
Wow.
Granted, this was the number 1 team in the league, and they were beating every team. They were slaughtering every team they played, and they only lost 1 game all season, and it was to us earlier in the year. So losing to this team really isn't like a big deal. It's no big surprise, but the fact that we were up 11-1 really made it hurt, I think.
All right, so keeping Joe at third, is that going to haunt you for a while?
Yeah, you know what? It's one of the worst feelings in my athletic career.
No. See, he's going to be on the mound on Sunday, and it's going to be like, 7th inning, bases loading.
He's going to think about it.
That's going to go through his mind.
I should have sent Joe.
Yeah, exactly. Your catcher's going to be calling for something. You're going to say,
Joe, you idiot.
And I'm going to be there in the stands, and I'm just going to be standing up just looking at you just with a stoic face.
Oh, gosh.
All right, Jimmy. Well, thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks for giving us an update on the team. Good luck, obviously, in the games this weekend. Obviously, you guys play tonight, and then tomorrow at 7, and then, if needed, Sunday at 7, where you will possibly be taking the mound and celebrating on the mound, hopefully, with another championship victory for the Oilmen.
Yes. Thank you, guys.
Sure.
Thanks, Jimmy.
Thanks, Jimmy, for calling in. Friend of the show, friend of me, brother's a friend of mine as well, friend of the softball team.
Big fan of the softball team.
Big fan.
Big coach.
Third base coach who maybe he needs to take a page out of Waving Wendell Kim. Do you remember him?
Waving Wendell, yeah, I remember him. Who doesn't?
And just send everyone. I don't know. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll do some headlines with Sam, the intern's intern. Samantha, the stat boy. You haven't screamed stat boy in a while. Let's hear it. There it is.
AM 1230 WJLB. No, keep singing, Joe.
I don't know the rest.
Welcome back to the Sports Jam, AM 1230 WJOB. Joe's got some news for us, correct?
Yeah, we can talk about that now. Let's talk about the St. Mike's Fun Fest this weekend, Friday, August 2nd, and Saturday, August 3rd from 5 p.m. until 11 p.m. 1 Wilhelm Street in Cherville, Indiana. That is the gigantic St. Mike's Church. I'm sure you've seen it. There's lots of fun for the kids. There's a bouncy house, obstacle course, dunk tank, photo booth, face painting, and more. Also live entertainment tonight, 5 to 7. It will be all in a day from 7 to 11. It will be Unstoppables, and tomorrow evening from 7 to 11, it is the band Together, who Harlow has seen and apparently loves. And there will also be food booths, hot dogs, hamburgers, sausages, pizza, and much, much more. Dinners will be from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. in St. Patrick's Hall inside the air-conditioned St. Michael's Church. Friday will be, what does it say, fried fish?
Fried fish.
All the sides and fixins. And tomorrow, chicken with sides and fixins. And adults are $10. Children 5 to 12 is $5. 5 and under are free. Also, don't forget about the Beer Garden Casino games from 5 p.m. to 11 both nights. And the $100,000 mega raffle. First prize gets 50 G's. There are about 116 other prizes that range from $10,000 all the way down to $200. Your odds of winning, I think, are 1 in 20.
Yep.
1 in
That's what he
20.
said.
If you buy 20 tickets,
You got a good chance.
you got a good chance of winning at least $200.
Let's go to Sam with his headlines.
All right, first headline. It's the controversial story of the day. I'm sure you've probably heard about it. Eagles wide receiver Riley Cooper Well,
Use
okay.
your words.
I'm trying to delicately pat around this story.
Okay.
Okay, well, he was at a concert, the Kenny Chesney concert.
Yep.
And apparently he said some racial slurs.
He did. He said the N-word.
He did. And it's not nice.
It's not a good thing to say.
No.
Especially, I mean, then again, it was a country concert, so I'm sure that word was thrown around. But somebody videotaped it and put it on YouTube.
And now he's being sent to counseling.
Yeah, the Eagles are giving him sensitivity training, I think.
I
think that's what I said.
Yeah,
do you think he should be sent to this? I don't know.
Yeah, sure. I don't think he should be cut or released from the team, but yeah, sensitivity training, sure.
Well, some of his teammates have come out and said that they're not okay with this. LaShawn McCoy, running back for the Eagles.
Who's going to come out and say they are okay with it?
I mean, they could not say anything.
Okay.
LaShawn McCoy coming out and chastising his teammate.
Chastising. Look at that. Oh, look, you brought up the Deadspin thing too. There you
I
go.
did.
Sam's really producing this show today.
I really am.
I had to ask him to, but he did it. Yeah, if you're watching us on the video stream, you can see Riley Cooper's mug in the article about team activities, seeking counseling and sensitivity training and all that stuff for
It took Sam 2 months to finally figure out how to produce correctly.
Thanks, dude.
I'm joking, Samantha.
Taking all the support I can get.
And Marcus Vick even put out a $1,000 bounty on Cooper for whatever defensive player could light him up on the field. Since then, he's obviously deleted that tweet, but apparently Marcus Vick looking to try out for the Saints in the future.
Well, the Vic's not really known for their
bounty?
decision-making, so...
Yeah, Marcus Vick.
Good one, Joe.
Yeah, thanks for getting that
You're
one.
welcome, I got it.
Marcus Vick just needs to get out of the spotlight.
Yeah.
He's desperate to hang on.
Yeah.
All right, our next story, since Mike's vigorously waving at me, is Yu Darvish's 14 Ks against the Diamondbacks last night. It's the fourth 14K game this season. It's the most 14K games in a season by a Ranger, surpassing Nolan Ryan's 3 Ks in 1990.
3 Ks?
3-game
Yeah, there
14
you go.
Ks.
There you go.
I apologize. But it's because of his 5 pitches. That's how
Yeah,
he does it.
he's got some nasty pitches, too.
He sure does.
Next story.
What's going on, Sam? What do you want out of us?
This is your segment.
All right, Des Bryant comes out yesterday saying that LeBron James should play football and that he'd be a beast in the NFL.
I think everyone says that.
Cleveland Browns in the future?
No.
No. What about the Miami Dolphins?
Yeah. Or what about the Buccaneers?
Or are they now the Florida Dolphins? I don't know. They switched their logo, too. So
Florida Dolphins?
is it the?
Are they the Florida
I
Dolphins?
thought they switched. Who knows?
All right, next story.
Next story. All right.
If only we had a stat boy to look that up for us.
Oh, jeez.
Dang, that would cost you extra.
Yep.
Probably more than $0 is just what I'm making now. So,
What's next, Sam?
Cubs GM Jed Hoyer says that struggling Starlin Castro is still a huge part of the Cubs' core.
Yeah. Who's hitting their microphone? I guess so. I mean, I'm not a big Castro fan. I've never have been, and I don't know. He's not producing, so why be a big part of this team? And all he does is hit singles. So I don't.
Yeah, and
I'm okay with
and
if they trade
Javier Baez is coming up to the pipeline.
He is.
Like
He could go to shortstop. Castro could go over to second because Darwin Barney is not hitting the ball as well. So we'll see. And Mad Mac is on the line. Is Mad Mac on the line?
Oh, okay. I see. Yeah, Mad Mac.
Hey, you're on
How's
there.
it going?
Quick question for you guys. How many games have the Athletics in baseball won since the advent of their little computer program?
How many games have they won since?
How many playoff games? Excuse me.
Oh, I want to say 2. Your
I
mic's
think you
up.
might be short. It might only be 1.
Is it
But I
just-
know the number of playoff series they won is 0.
Oh, see, that's why I said 2 because I thought they had won one first round series. But
No, I don't think they won a single series. They lost to the Yankees 3-2.
are you sure they didn't make the American League Championship Series one of those years in like 04 maybe?
Nah, I'm going to
they
go
beat-
with $10 on red. They They have not won a playoff series.
They played the Tigers a few years back, didn't they?
It hasn't been recently, but
This was in 2006, I want to say.
you could be right. But pretty much the point is they haven't
Right.
done anything with all these
Right.
sabermetrics. But, however, they also have had no payroll, so you could argue that without doing all that, they would have never even made the playoffs any of those years. So
Correct.
I don't know, like
So at least they put some asses in the stands, right?
some they don't.
Made a couple bucks and off they went.
Yeah, they don't draw very well, but they
And I
did.
know you're at the end of the day here.
Yeah,
The new nickname for Joe Cool should just be, or wait, what's your nickname, Joe?
show the show.
Joe the O.
Joe the Show? It
Yeah.
just should be J Show.
Like JWoww.
Whoever. J Show. That's your new nickname.
J
When
Show.
we get you on ESPN, you're going to be J Show.
Jay
All right,
Show.
I'll write that down and immediately forget it. We got about a minute left, so we gotta let you go.
Adios.
All right, see ya. Some more headlines real quick, Sam. Just rapid fire.
Okay, rapid fire. Jay Cutler learning the new system. It's a lot of new verbiage, so
Got it. Next
they're learning
story.
from that. There's new Pro Bowl rules here. Seems that
Let's save this for tomorrow because we don't have enough time. We can go on for about the Pro Bowl rules.
All right,
Got
coming up,
anything else?
coming up
All right.
next, or what?
so.
Oh, save the Sochi thing too.
Save it
for
all.
tomorrow.
Coming up next is
Uh,
Jet Flashbacks. After that, it's the afternoon fix from 4 to 6. Purdue Calumet Sports Insights with Wes Lukosius. And then at 6 o'clock, it's Back Room with Larry the K and Big George. MCL playoffs at 7. Southland Vikings versus the Northwest Indiana Oilmen. We will see you tomorrow. Keep it locked right here on AM 1230
Jet
WJOB.
flashbacks.
You know what?
Jet Flashbacks coming up next.
I don't like you, and I'm probably not going to like you, no matter how many points